So the reactions, nucleophilic substitution reaction, elimination reaction, and reaction with metals. So these are main types of reactions in haloalkanes. In haloarenes, nucleophilic substitution reaction, electrophilic substitution reaction, and reaction with metals. So here we are talking about nucleophilic substitution reaction, and we talked about that there is a nucleophile. Okay? That nucleophile actually attacks on the carbon part. The reason is because suppose this is CH3Cl. This CH3Cl, the CCl bond is polar bond because chlorine is electronegative and carbon is electropositive. So that's why this carbon is positive and nucleophile is looking for nucleus. So that's why nucleophile attacks on this carbon. And the moment it attacks, this chlorine goes away. So that is the mechanism in just one step. So halogen is bound to sp3 hybridized carbon atom. So if you see here, if I take just this example, this carbon is sp3 hybridized to which the halogen is attached. Then we talked about how the mechanism, okay, happens. In few specific cases, we talked about whether the carbon will get attached or nitrogen will get attached or oxygen will get attached, depending on the ambidentate nucleophile. Now moving forward, and this was the question we had done. Now mechanism of SN2 reaction. What actually happens? Okay. SN2 again, this is substitution nucleophilic bimolecular. 2 means bimolecular. And why it is named like this, I'll explain. For example, the reaction between CH3Cl and hydroxide ion to yield methanol and chloride ion follows a second order kinetics. Now this term is actually we will be talking about in detail later on when we talk about the reaction mechanisms, okay? uh, kinetics of reactions in that chapter. But if you understand that second order kinetics means there are two molecules which are interacting, which are responsible for rate of reaction. So second order kinetics means two molecules, okay? Two different molecules decide the rate of reaction. That is what we mean by second order kinetics. Order we will be talking about in chemical kinetics chapter in detail. But here for reference, you need to understand two molecules are interacting, reacting with each other, and these are deciding the overall rate of the reaction. So in this case, rate depends upon the concentration of both the reactants. That's why the name SN2. Two molecules decide bimolecular. So that's the name substitution nucleophilic, and two means bimolecular. Why? Because both the molecules, here obviously one is in the form of ion, both the molecules react at the same time. This is just single step reaction. So the moment nucleophile attacks on the carbon, which is positive, at the same time, chlorine moves away. So everything is happening simultaneously. So as the OH gets attached on the carbon, central carbon, chlorine has to move because carbon cannot have 5 valency. So that's why chlorine goes away. So OH gets attached, nucleophile gets attached, and halogen goes away. Now remember, this intermediate is just for depiction, explanation purpose. There is nothing like this intermediate which actually occurs. This is just for explanation. Sometimes this is asked that whether this intermediate is formed or not. No, this intermediate is just for explanation purpose. Reaction happens like this simultaneously. Okay. So as you can see, the same thing explained. Okay, same thing explained that this is OH. So this is OH minus, and this is CH3Cl. Now, why I have written it in this manner or depicted in this manner, there is reason. Okay? The moment OH gets attached to the carbon, this chlorine leaves, and you see the difference. The difference is that earlier this CH3 was pointed towards left. All these hydrogens were pointed towards left. It was like this. But the moment OH got attached from the left side, these three now are pointed towards right. These are now like this. This is known as inversion of configuration because the structure from left sided moved to right sided. Effectively, what I am saying that it was like this, and after OH got attached, it became like this. So this inversion of structure is known as inversion of configuration. If you are asked what is inversion of configuration, actually the teacher is asking about SN2 mechanism, nothing else. In SN2 mechanism, there is inversion of configuration. Sometimes it will be given as indirect way to tell you that the reaction is actually SN2 mechanism. Okay. This is also known as inverted umbrella configuration. Sometimes you might have seen that in very fast wind, heavy winds or storms, the umbrella is inverted. So that's why sometimes it is also known as inverted umbrella configuration. Inversion of configuration is inversion in the structure of CH3 or maybe at CH3, CH2, something like that. It can be like this also. It can be like this also. There can be one CH3 attached to it. But rate of reaction will not be same. That's what we are going to talk about that. Okay. The presence of bulky substituents on or near the carbon atom has a dramatic hindrance effect. Hindrance means blocking effect. Blocking effect. Why? Try to understand. Suppose you have just CH3. All are hydrogens. Carbon is here and all hydrogens are attached. And hydrogen is very small atom. So nucleophile will have plenty of space to attack on this carbon from this side. Remember, nucleophile attacks from the opposite side of the halogen, not from the side of halogen. Because nucleophile and negative will repel each other. This halogen, whether chlorine, bromine, etc., these are electronegative. and nucleophile is also negative. So these will repel. So nucleophile will never attack from the side of the halogen. Nucleophile will always attack from the opposite side of the halogen. These do not occupy much space. These hydrogens are very small atoms. So nucleophile attacks very easily on the carbon. But suppose you have one methyl group attached. Instead of this hydrogen, now this hydrogen is replaced by one methyl group. In this case, there will be some blocking. There is not as much space as was available here. So it means nucleophile will face some difficulty because it can attack only from this side or this side. Okay? It cannot attack from this side because this is hindered by alkyl group. So not possible from this side. In first case, it was possible from all the sides from left, obviously only. Okay? Suppose now you have two alkyl groups. This hydrogen also gets replaced by methyl group. Now nucleophile can attack only through very narrow passage. It does not have much space to attack the carbon, central carbon. And if all three hydrogens are replaced by methyl group, okay, it can be methyl group, it can be ethyl group, propyl group, okay, whatever. Then there is hardly any space through which nucleophile can attack on the central carbon. So that's why if you see, if it is just methyl group, means all three are hydrogens, the rate of the reaction is around 30%. If one hydrogen is replaced by methyl group, the rate drops to only 1%. It creates so much hindrance. Just one methyl group, that rate drops 30 times. If there are two methyl groups, they create so much hindrance, so much blocking, that is only 0.02. And if it is tertiary, three alkyl groups attached to the carbon to which halogen is attached, the rate is almost zero. So this is known as steric effect. Steric effect, steric hindrance, or steric effect. Steric means something which is distributed in space. So as you can see in all these structures, we are talking about how hydrogens and methyl groups attached are distributed in 3D structure in the space. So that's why the term steric effect. Now this gives us a hint that if the question is about that in which particular compound the rate of reaction for SN2 mechanism will be greater or highest, or arrange these compounds, we can use this particular concept. So this concept will be used heavily to answer the questions based on the rate of the reaction in SN2 and SN1 mechanisms. Mehak, is that clear that what these numbers indicate? Okay. These numbers just indicate how fast the reaction is. So it means in this case, the SN2 reaction will be fastest here and slowest here. It means fastest in 1 degree. Both these are, 1 degree. This is also 1 degree, but here there is no alkyl group, so obviously this one will be fastest. I told you the definitions of 1 degree. To carbon, there is one carbon attached or none. So to this carbon, no carbon is attached, it will be 1 degree. To this carbon, one carbon is attached, again 1 degree. To this carbon, two carbons are attached, 2 degree. To this carbon, three carbons attached, 3 degree. So you must remember, or you can memorize this, that SN2 reaction will be fastest in primary halides. Opposite will be the case in SN1 reaction. So whatever is the rate we study in SN2, exactly opposite will be in SN1. So sometimes it is very easy that instead of whatever I will tell you how to find the rate of reaction in SN1, sometimes students find it easier to get the answer for SN2 and then reverse it. Because to get the answer based on hindrance is easier sometimes for students. However, for both are easier, but sometimes students find it easier to calculate on the basis of hindrance. So primary halides rate of reactivity highest, secondary halides less, tertiary halides least. Now mechanism of SN1 reaction. Substitution nucleophilic unimolecular. One means unimolecular reaction. Generally carried out in polar protic solvents. This is just for reference. Sometimes it is asked, that is water, alcohol, acetic acid. Polar protic solvent means the molecule is polar and provides proton. So H2O is polar. You know why it is polar? Because there is some resultant dipole moment. This is something we have done in 11th. Okay? And it gives you H plus proton, polar protic solvent. Similarly, alcohol, CH3, CH2OH, for example. Okay? It's polar molecule because it will be like this. Okay? And it also gives you proton. It can give you proton. Similarly, acetic acid. Normally, SN1 reaction will be shown by, okay, will be carried into polar protic solvents. Now, one example, the reaction between tert butyl bromide and hydroxide ion. Remember, hydroxide ion is same and our alkyl halides are also same. Here we have started from tert butyl because it will be opposite as compared to in case of SN2 mechanism. In SN2, we took example first of primary halide, for example, methyl halide, methyl chloride, if you remember. Okay. Here I am taking example of tert butyl bromide because SN1 reaction will be fastest in tertiary alkyl halide. It yields tert butyl alcohol and follows the first order kinetics. First order kinetics, if you remember, I told you, second order kinetics meant two molecules are responsible for overall rate of reaction, concentration of two molecules. In this case, concentration of only one molecule will decide the overall rate, complete rate of reaction. Okay? So the rate of reaction depends upon the concentration of only one reactant, which is tert butyl bromide, not the hydroxide ion. In case of SN2 mechanism, the rate of reaction was dependent on concentration of both alkyl halide and hydroxide ion. In case of SN1 reaction, it will be dependent only on the alkyl halide, not the hydroxide ion. I'll tell you why. Because this reaction takes place in two steps. Okay, this reaction takes place in two steps. Otherwise, it is similar. OH gets attached to the alkyl group and halide goes away. So if you see the overall reaction, it looks similar. The mechanism is different. So it occurs in two steps. In step one, the polarized CBr, carbon halide bond, undergoes slow cleavage. And this term is important, slow. Cleavage means breaking. To produce a carbocation, and carbocation is key word in case of SN1 reaction, and bromide ion. So few points I'm emphasizing here. The reaction takes place in two steps. The first step is cleavage of the CCl, CBr, okay, carbon halide bond. And this step is very slow. Actually, it is reversible. And what it produces? It produces a carbocation. Just see it. So first step is actually reversible, very slow. And in this case, the halide gets converted into carbocation and halide ion. Now, who will tell me 3 degree, 2 degree, 1 degree carbocation, which one will be most stable and why? Remember, I'm asking the reason. So don't tell me just which one will be most stable. You need to tell me the reason as well. And this is something we have talked about in 11th standard. Who remembers that? Okay, Mahak, fine. Tell me the reason. Rita, fine. Tell me the reason. Shashwat, excellent answer. Ashik, correct. Tell me the reason. In 11th chemical bonding chapter, we talked about why carbocation, 3 carbocation is more stable than 2 degree, more stable than 1 degree. Ashik, correct reason. Okay, very few can recall, I think. Okay, the reason was hyperconjugation. Okay, the reason was hyperconjugation. Here on this carbon, there is one empty p orbital, and the CH3 basically, which is attached here. So this hybrid and this p orbital, these come closer and in parallel. So there is a conjugation between their electron clouds. Now, if it is tertiary, then similar thing can happen here also. Now, this bond is parallel to this one, again conjugation. So hyperconjugation, extent of hyperconjugation increases if we have tertiary carbocation. So similarly, if there is another methyl group, okay, this one comes parallel to this one, another hyperconjugation. So the extent of hyperconjugation possibilities are 9 actually, because we have 9 CH bonds here. 3 CH bonds, 3 CH bonds, 3 CH bonds. Any of these 3 CH bonds can come parallel to the p orbital and there can be hyperconjugation. And hyperconjugation stabilizes the carbocation then. These types of concepts need to be clear, specifically if you are planning to appear in JEE, NEET. These subtle points have to be very much clear. Okay, so that's why this tertiary carbocation is very stable. And in SN1 reaction, because carbocation is formed and tertiary carbocation, which is the product in this case, is very stable, it means for tertiary halide, this step will be faster as compared to secondary halide. In secondary halide, this step will be faster as compared to primary halide, because if it is just primary halide, CH3Br, and step 1, here you will have CH3 plus Br minus, which is 1 degree carbocation, which is least stable. If product is stable, the reaction will not happen. Product is unstable, least stable, the reaction will not happen significantly. So that's why I hope it is clear that why SN1 reaction is fastest for tertiary halides. However, SN2 reaction was slowest for tertiary halides due to hindrance. But here it is not the hindrance, because first carbocation is formed. And once carbocation is formed, this is a planar molecule, planar ion. Planar ions means this is trigonal planar. So if it is trigonal planar, and if I see it from the side view, say I see it from right side view, it will look like something this. I'm just having some distance, otherwise this there will not be any angle here. It will be just like one line. Okay? One CH3 group here and two CH3 groups here, central carbon here. Now there is equal possibility from left or right OH can attack, because the carbocation is planar, it is in single plane. So 50% possibility that it will attack from left side and 50% possibility that it will attack from right side. And this is important to remember because we will be talking about the racemic mixture later on. So remember, this is actually the answer. This will be the answer for that. 50% possibility from both the sides. Now the second step, once the carbocation is formed, OH will attack. That is the step 2 from either side, and alcohol will be produced. Now, because this step is slowest step, it decides the overall rate of reaction. The first step is slowest step. It is something similar to, suppose you have a pipe, okay, and water is flowing through it. If it is uniformly, wide throughout, the rate of reaction, the rate of flow of water will be same at all points. But suppose the water is flowing like this. Initially, it is narrow, and then it becomes wide. So even after it becomes wide, the rate will be decided by this narrow part, because this will not allow the water to flow with speed, or will not allow the more water to flow. So this is the first step actually in this reaction. This is the second step. So even if the second step is faster, the rate of reaction is not fast overall. The reason is because the first step is slower. So even if whether first step is slower or second step is slower, if second step would have been slower, it would have looked like this. Even then the rate of the reaction would have been slow. So the slowest step decides the overall rate of reaction. The slowest step in multi-step reactions decides the overall rate of reaction. Step 1 is slowest and reversible. It involves the C-Br bond breaking, for which the energy is obtained through solvation of halide ion with the proton of protic solvent. If you remember, we talked about that this reaction SN1 happens in protic solvents. If it is asked that why SN1 reaction happens in protic solvent, the reason is the energy required to break C-Br bond, this bond, is obtained through solvation. Solvation means hydration. And hydration enthalpy is always negative, means released. So during hydration, energy is released. If you remember, we talked about in thermodynamics, lattice enthalpy is required. Lattice enthalpy is energy required to break the crystal. After that hydration, during hydration of those particles, energy is released. And then if you remember, we talked about enthalpy of solvation. Enthalpy of solvation was sum of enthalpy of lattice breaking the lattice and plus hydration enthalpy. So anything is soluble if hydration enthalpy is greater than lattice enthalpy, means energy released is more than energy required to break the lattice. So here also we are talking about solvation of halide ion, this ion. So this will get hydrated if it is water. Okay, if it is something else, for example, acetic acid, etc., we will call it solvation. So this energy is released. This energy released is further used to break this bond. That's why we need protic solvents. Okay, this is something I have talked about. Now, the overall rate depends on concentration of one molecule only. Step one, only the alkyl halide decides the rate of reaction. That's why this reaction is unimolecular. Substitution, nucleophilic, unimolecular. One. Now, greater the stability of carbocation formed, higher will be the rate, faster will be the rate of the reaction. So that's why tertiary halide rate will be greater than secondary halide will be. Remember, we are talking about halides, SN1 mechanism. You must remember these points. Most of the questions, depending on the rate of reaction, will utilize these concepts. Initially, it will be sufficient if you can remember only for SN2 mechanism and you apply reverse for SN1 reaction. But with practice, obviously, you will have to learn to write the answers. Because if you write it like that in examination, if you write it for SN2 mechanism and then reverse it, your teacher is not going to give you marks. Those will be useful if you just need to answer the MCQ type questions. Reactivity of alkyl halides towards SN1 and SN2 reaction. For SN2, tertiary halide, secondary halide, primary halide increases in this order. Okay, increasing order. Means for SN2, maximum for primary halides. For SN1, maximum for tertiary halides. Rate of reactivity. But one thing is common. Suppose alkyl halide is same. We are talking about secondary only. Both have secondary. And halogen is changing. In that case, the concept is same for both SN2 and SN1 mechanism. I'm repeating. Don't apply this concept or get confused if alkyl halides are given same. Okay, alkyl groups are given same, but halogens are different. So just to explain that, if we are talking about CH3 Cl, CH3Br, CH3I, or we are talking about C2H5Cl, C2H5Br, C2H5I, ethyl iodide. In all such cases, RCl, RBr, Ri. Okay? In all such cases where alkyl group is same, halogen is changing, whether it is SN1 or SN2. In both cases, this one will be highest rate. This one will be slowest rate. And the reason is the bond length. How easily the bond can be broken. If alkyl group is not deciding the rate of reaction, here halogen will decide the rate of reaction. Alkyl group is same. RCl bond is the bond length is smallest. Here the bond length is largest. So that's why easier to break. R, I. Here R, C. The bond length here is great. Can be broken easily. In other words, sometimes you can write iodine is a better leaving group. The underlying reason is same because the bond length is greater. Iodine is a better leaving group, so the bond can be broken very easily and OH will get attached to the alkyl group. Any confusion till now, just let me know in the chat window. Okay, good. Okay, don't hesitate to ask because otherwise you will face problem later on. Any point not clear, you have to ask. Okay. If explanation is beyond the scope of syllabus, I'll tell you. If this is something you didn't get, I'll explain again. Now, based on this, similar concept that if carbocation is more stable, we talked about, SN1 reaction will be faster in that case. Due to the same reason, allylic and benzylic halides show higher reactivity towards SN1 reaction because the carbocation formed is stabilized through resonance here. Okay. Allylic halides, do you remember? Allylic halide means the double bond is on the adjacent carbon. Allylic adjacent, A for allylic, A for adjacent. So this carbon has the chlorine and double bond is on the adjacent carbon. This is the adjacent carbon and this adjacent carbon has double bond. So this is allylic halide. This allylic halide will get converted into carbocation like this. And allylic halides have resonance. Resonating structures are given here. The double bond keeps shifting from one place to another place. So basically both the bonds have partial double bond character. Both the bonds actually have partial double bond character. So it is like CH2, CH, CH2, like this partial double bond character. More stable. Similarly, benzylic halides. Benzylic halides also due to resonance. So benzyl group is something like this. Okay, this is benzyl. Benzyl group will also get stabilized due to resonance. So it will get converted into carbocation and this carbocation will get stabilized through resonance and resonating structures are here. This carbon has positive charge. To neutralize this positive charge, this bond will break and will create a double bond here. Now, because this carbon loses its electrons, it gains positive charge. To neutralize this positive charge, this bond broken. Okay, this bond broken and forms double bond here. So remember, this carbon still has the double bond. This carbon had the double bond and has the double bond. But this carbon lost its electrons. So that's why positive charge. To neutralize this one, again double bond moves here and this carbon gets positive. Then to neutralize this one, the double bond which was formed in first step, this double bond gets broken and again you get positive charge here. Because this carbon now lost the electrons, 2 electrons due to cleavage of double bond. Electrolytic cleavage, both the electrons move from one carbon to another carbon. So you need to remember both the things. The structures are important, resonating structures are important, and the reason, that is the resonance. Resonance stabilizes the carbocations formed. So if the product is more stable, the rate of reaction will be faster. Product is stable. So remember, three carbocations, allylic carbocations, benzylic carbocations, these show faster rate in SN1 reaction. I'm repeating and you need to remember these things to answer the question. Okay. 3-degree carbocation, allylic carbocations, and benzylic carbocations. These show faster SN1 reactions because the carbocations are stabilized either by hyperconjugation or by resonance. Hyperconjugation in this case, resonance in this case. Okay. This is something I have already told you, that this one will be fastest because if alkyl groups are same, then our I will be fastest. Iodides will give fastest SN1 or SN2 both. Okay, because iodine is a better leaving group. Then bromine, chlorine, and fluorine will have very slow rate of reaction for SN1 or SN2. And the reason is the bond length is very small. And you need to remember. So what we have talked about till now, we have talked about SN2 mechanism, SN1 mechanism. We have talked about their rate of reactions. In rate of reactions, we have talked about for primary, secondary, and tertiary halides. Then we talked about in both cases, if the alkyl group is same, halide is different, then what is the rate of reaction? In which case the SN1 reaction will be fastest, in which case SN2 will be fastest. In SN1, we talked about carbocations should be stable, and there we talked about due to hyperconjugation or resonance. Hyperconjugation is in case of tertiary carbocation, and in case of allylic and benzylic carbocations, it is resonance which stabilizes the carbocations. Now the question. In the following pairs of halogen compounds, which would undergo SN2 reaction faster and why? I want to check how many students have got the idea. So you need to tell me the reason as well. SN2 mechanism. And hint, SN2 mechanism, hindrance plays significant role. Mm, no, Mehak, no, Shivangi, one not correct. Okay, you are learning. Okay, so not a problem. I am okay with answers if not correct. I will be more happy if you answer, because if you make mistakes here, you won't repeat it in examination. Otherwise, you will do the same mistake in examination. Think in terms of primary, secondary, and tertiary. I told you in SN2 mechanism, primary fastest. Okay, Shashwat correct. Preeta, think again. Ashi correct. You can think in two terms. You can think in terms of hindrance or just apply the simple concept. Halide is same. It means alkyl group will decide the rate of reaction. For SN1, primary halides are faster as compared to secondary and then as compared to tertiary. So just find which one is primary, which one is secondary. The carbon attached to two carbons is secondary. The carbon attached to one carbon, primary. Still waiting answers from many students. Okay, okay, now think again. Okay, this is halide. This is the carbon attached to halide. This carbon is primary or secondary. How many carbons it is attached with? It is attached with one carbon only. It means this is 1 degree halide. Now come to this carbon. This carbon is attached to halogen. How many carbons it is attached with? This carbon is attached with 1 and 2 carbon. It means this is 2 degree halide. And you know for SN2 we have talked about. You must memorize this if you are not able to calculate on the basis of hindrance. 1 degree shows faster SN2 reaction because there is less hindrance. So if you see, now see in terms of hindrance, okay? In terms of hindrance, the incoming nucleophile, that is OH, for example, needs to get attached on this carbon, okay? And on this carbon, if you see like this, okay, CCl, H, H, and here you have cyclohexyl. Isn't it like this? This carbon is actually sp3 hybridized. Now the OH will get attached from the side opposite to the halide, opposite to the halide. So it has hindrance, but hindrance due to this cyclohexyl, which is just one. So it has plenty of space. OH can get attached from here, from here, from here. But now in this case, it is like this Cl. And OH has to attack from the opposite side, and opposite side is blocked. Opposite side is almost completely blocked. So very slow, very low possibility. you need to understand from both perspectives, because answers will require the knowledge of both primary, secondary, and tertiary. Because in few cases, uh, two compounds will be primary, and you will be asked that which one will be faster in SN2 or SN1 reaction. So in that case, you must consider the hindrance. Hindrance where? Hindrance on the carbon to which halogen is attached. Only that carbon, nowhere else. Because OH will get attached to that carbon to which halogen is attached. So hindrance has to be considered only on that carbon to which halogen is attached. Is this clear now? Okay. So in many cases, if you just remember the concept primary, secondary, tertiary, it will solve the question. In few questions, you will require the knowledge of hindrance or the stability of carbocation form. Okay. So it will be the first structure which will be faster in SN2 mechanism. Now here, who will tell me the answer? I have told you the way to find it. Which one will be faster? Ashi, Shafkat, Mahat. Good. Vanna, good with correct reason. Rita, good. Shivangi, good. Yes, Sashi, good. Correct reason. Yastika, good. Yes, everyone, you need to apply the concept we have just learned. Okay. So if alkyl group is same, Arohi, good. Shivangi, good. Yes. Shashwat, yes, that is the correct reason. So alkyl group is same. So it means halogen will decide the rate of reaction. So it is irrespective of whether it is written SN2 mechanism or SN2 reaction or SN1 reaction. The answer will be same in both cases because halogen is deciding the rate of reaction. And iodine is a better leaving group. So this one will be faster. Okay. And you remember the trend which we have discussed. If alkyl group is same. Next question. Predict the order of reactivity of the following compounds in both SN1 and SN2 mechanism. So remember, if you find for SN2, reverse will be SN1. If you find for SN1, reverse will be SN2. But in examination, you have to write few words that on which particular concept uh, your answer is based. Okay? So you don't need to explain too much in examination. The final answer is acceptable, but at least you need to mention what is the concept you are utilizing here. Okay. So for isomeric bromobutane, bromobutane means there will be primary, secondary, tertiary, and so on. Okay. Bromobutane, so the first one will be CH3, CH2, 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 Br, bromo. Okay. Another one will be, say you move CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, Br. Remember, this one is 1 degree, this one also 1 degree. Then there is another possibility that you move bromine to somewhere else. So CH3, CH2, CH, Br, CH3. This is 2 degree because the carbon which has the bromine is attached to two carbons. So that's why 2 degree. Another possibility tertiary. C, Br, CH3, 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 3D. Now you know in SN1, you will apply the concept that tertiary is more stable. So tertiary will be fastest, secondary will be slower, primary will be slowest in case of SN1. Because it is written SN1 first, so you will apply SN1 concept first. So this one will be fastest, This one will be slower. These two primary slowest. Now, amongst these two, which one will be slower? Which one will be faster? Okay. Now you will apply the concept of hindrance. Remember that is opposite of SN2. So if you apply for SN2, opposite will be for the case of SN1. Consider the carbon and pay attention here. Consider the carbon to which bromine is attached. Now tell me, so if I write it first, second, third, fourth, between 1 and 2, this carbon which is attached to bromine, in which case first or second, hindrance is higher. OH will attack on this carbon. I am asking in which case, first or second, the hindrance is higher. Hindrance on this carbon. Hindrance is greater. Okay, Mahak, think again. Shashwat, Shivangi, correct. Always draw the sp3 configuration. If you are confused, draw the sp3 configuration, tetrahedral structure, and then see. And then see that OH is attacking from the opposite side of the bromine. Okay, now look here. I'm drawing these two structures in 3D configuration. Okay, so the first one here on this carbon, how many hydrogens are there? Two hydrogens are there. And how many alkyl groups are there? One alkyl group is there. So on this carbon, you have two hydrogens. Apart from bromine, you have only two hydrogens and one bulky group. Okay. Here also you have only two hydrogens and one bulky group. But what is the difference in these two bulkier groups? Which one is creating greater hindrance? This one is wider. This one is linear. This one is wider, occupying more space. So this will create more hindrance as compared to second will create more hindrance as compared to the first one. Remember why I am saying remember as compared to first one. The first one is just linear. So first one, if I draw it like this, it will be like H, H, and something like this, linear. Okay. So the OH can attack from this side very easily. But in case of second, this group is bulkier. Okay. And it will shift the hydrogen away from it. Now the OH will have less space to attack the carbon, greater hindrance, although slightly greater, but it is greater hindrance because this is broader structure as compared to the first one. This alkyl group is broader as compared to this one. Okay. So here, out of these two, higher hindrance. Although both are 1 degree. So it means the rate of reactivity will be fourth will be fastest, third will be slower, second will be slower, and first will be slowest because there is least hindrance. I am talking about SN1. For SN2, least hindrance will be fastest. For SN1, least hindrance will be slowest. Opposite of that. Okay. There are more concepts related to this one, okay, which I will talk about in next class. Yes, Preeta, correct. Okay. That instead of talking about hindrance, you can talk about other effects, plus I effect, minus I effect, to explain why this one will be more stable in case of SN1 second. Okay. So tertiary will be most stable. So remember the sign here is different. So here from least reactive to most reactive in SN1. Okay. So 3 degree, 2 degree, these are 1 degree, but this is 1 degree with branching. This is another hint. Okay, sometimes it will be very easy to find out which one will be more stable or which one will create more hindrance. If there is higher branching, higher hindrance. Okay, simple concept you can utilize or you can memorize. Higher the branching, higher the hindrance. No branching, it means linear molecule, least hindrance. Opposite will be the case in case of SN2 mechanism. So if you see for SN2, the sign will change. Now here I have changed the sign. Is fastest. This one is slowest. Tertiary is slowest. So if you see in terms of hindrance, you will say least hindrance, okay, highest hindrance. Linear molecule, least hindrance. Branching, even 1 degree higher, 2 degree higher hindrance, 3 degree highest hindrance. So SN2, 3 degree will be least reactive. Next question. Now here remember again the size of the alkyl group or aryl group will decide the hindrance. And you know that C6H5 is phenyl group, one hydrogen removed from benzene. And this is a very bulky group. So it will create a lot of hindrance. Okay. But this one is common in all these three. So this is something you may ignore. But these two will decide the rate of action. Now, first categorize in terms of 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree. The carbon which is attached to the bromine, that is halogen, this is the carbon attached to the bromine. In this case, this is simply 1 degree carbon. Why? Because it is attached to only one carbon of the phenyl group. In this case, this is attached with two phenyl groups. So if you want to visualize, it is something CH like this. A lot of bulkier groups, two groups attached. Okay, so that's why it is attached to two carbons, one and two. That's why 2 degree. Now this one, in this case, one is CH3, the other one is C6H5. This is third. This is second. Now come to this one. In this case, this carbon is attached to 3 carbons. Okay. So in this case, it is like carbon attached to CH3, then C6H5, then another C6H5 below. This is 3D. Fourth one, fourth. Okay. So this is also 2 degree. Why 2 degree? Because this carbon is attached to 2 carbons. This carbon is attached to this carbon and to this carbon. So that's why 2 degree. This carbon attached to 2 carbons. That's why 2 degree. This carbon attached to 3 carbons. That's why 3 degree. Okay. So for SN1, you know that 3 degree will be fastest, 1 degree will be slowest. But amongst these two, these are 2 degree. That is what you have to decide. So if this one is first structure, okay. Hmm. So 1 degree. If this one is first structure, this one is the second structure, third structure, and fourth structure. Tell me in decreasing order. Okay, tell me in decreasing order. Just write 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, tell me the structure. 1, 2, 3. Decreasing order means fastest first, slowest last. No, Mahak, think again. Shashwat, correct with correct reasoning. Just write 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Preetha, correct. Good. Arohi, think again. Ashi, correct. Think in terms of hindrance. Remember, tertiary has maximum hindrance. So it means you have to arrange them in the order of maximum hindrance to least hindrance. In simple terms, maximum hindrance will have fastest rate in SN1 because tertiary carbocations will have maximum hindrance. Tertiary halides will have maximum hindrance, not carbocations, tertiary halides. Okay. Um, Tuhina, correct. I asked in decreasing order, so you should have written in decreasing order, but order is correct. Shivangi, think again, ROE correct. Now try to understand, okay? And it is a good practice that you write the rule first. So write the rule first. The rule says for SN1, if we have to write in decreasing order, remember, okay, I am writing in decreasing order. So first write the rule. Either you say 3 degree most stable, okay, or you say 3 degree fastest, 1 degree slowest. So for that, it is sure that 4 will be the fastest and 1 will be the slowest. 4 is 3 degree and 1 is 1 degree. Second and third are 2 degree both. So we have to decide whether second will be faster in SN1 or 3 will be faster. Now the rule is greater the hindrance, faster in SN1. Lower the hindrance, faster in SN2. So for SN1, greater the hindrance, faster the reaction. And how you can understand this? That even if you forget this, you can use the knowledge of 3 degree. 3 degree has maximum hindrance. 3 degree has maximum hindrance because the carbon is attached to 3 carbons, 3 alkyl groups or aryl groups. So if you say 3 degrees fastest, it means higher the hindrance, faster the SN1 reaction. Now between 1 and 2, this has two bulkier groups, two. Second one has two bulkier groups, C6H5. However, in case of third, there is only one bulkier group. So hindrance is higher in case of second. Two very large groups, aryl groups are larger as compared to methyl group. Methyl group is very much small as compared to phenyl group. It means here the hindrance is higher, SN1 rate will be higher. It will be 2 third one decreasing. Yes, Tuhina, correct. Still any confusion? Just let me know if there is any confusion. Opposite will be the case for SN2. 1, 3, 2, 4. Next question. Which alkyl halide from the following pairs would you expect to react more rapidly by an SN2 mechanism? Explain your answer. So just tell me whether the first or second with the reason. Reason also, Mehak, your answer is correct. Okay. Uh, Instead of writing that, mention in terms of 1 degree, 2 degree, Mehak. Okay. Okay, Preeta. She correct. No, Yastika, it is SN2 mechanism. Arohi correct. Okay. In SN2 mechanism, 1 degree most stable, most reactive, 3 degree least reactive. This is 1 degree. It will react more rapidly as compared to 2 degree. So here this is 2 degree carbon. This carbon is attached to 2 carbons. Yes, Shashwat, correct. Mehak now correct. Good. Next. In this case, in SN2 mechanism, which one will be faster? Give me the reason as well. Shashwat, good. Ashi, good. Rita, your answer is correct. Reasoning not. Shivangi, correct. Arohi, correct. Mehak, yes, correct. Preeta, I need answer in terms of 1 degree, 2 degree. So Hina, it is SN2 mechanism. In SN2 mechanism, the rule you must memorize: 1 degree is fastest, 2 degrees slower, 3 degrees slowest. Okay, Preeta, now correct. No, this one is faster, but a few students have given me answer because it is 1 degree. No, it is 2 degree. The carbon which is attached to bromine is attached to two carbons. So this one is 2 degree. The carbon which is attached to bromine is attached to three carbons. So this is 3 degree. In SN2 mechanism, 2 degree is more reactive than 3 degree, hence fast will be faster. Okay. Next. Now this one is where I said that in few cases both will be primary, but you need to decide which one will be more reactive. Again, the answer is on the basis of hindrance. Now, if you see, this is 1 degree, and here also this is 1 degree because it is attached to only one carbon, only one carbon. So both are 1 degree primary. But in this case, the CH3 branching is near to the carbon to which bromine is attached. This CH3 is near to the carbon at which nucleophile attacks. Here it is far away. So it means in case of second, greater hindrance. The methyl group will create hindrance. It will create more hindrance if it is closer to the carbon on which nucleophile is supposed to attack. Okay? So suppose this methyl group moves even away, then it will become linear molecule, least hindrance. So in case if you see the order of the alkyl halide is same, means 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree. So if all are 1 degree, if all are 2 degree, okay, same degree, then hindrance will be decided by how close the branching is as compared to the other ones, how close the branching is near to the carbon which is attached to the bromine or chlorine or iodine, that is halogen. So the closeness of the branching also decides the hindrance. So I'm writing it and you need to memorize and understand. Closer the branching to the carbon of CX bond, greater the hindrance. Closer the branching to the carbon of CX bond, greater the hindrance. So branching is there in both cases, but in case of second, it is closer to the carbon of CX bond. It means for SN2 mechanism, first will be faster in this case. Lower the hindrance, faster the SN2 mechanism. Lower the hindrance, faster the SN2 reaction. Yes, Shashwat, correct. Next question, and this is the last question today. In the following pair of halogen compounds, which compound undergoes faster SN1 reaction? Tell me the answer with the reason. SN1 reaction. Ashi, Mehak, Shashwat, Geeta, correct. Good. Yastika, correct. Tell me the reason also, Yastika. Okay, good. Because this one is 3 degree, this one is 2 degree, and in SN1, 3 degree is faster.